is standing by to talk about Flash Wolves' big win.
Well, indeed, guys, standing by here with Maple and Maxa assisting for the translation. And hear you talking there, Jad, about, well, them beating SKT twice, which is incredibly impressive. Maple, congratulations. Tell me, what is or was the deciding factor over those two games that you guys are not able to consistently take down SK Telecom?
恭喜 Maple， 恭喜你们赢得 SKT， 然后你们已经击败 SKT 2次了，可不可以告诉我们你们击败他们的关键的点在哪里？你们找到什么方法吗？
其实我觉得我们打 SKT 的时候，基本上我们都没什么失误，对，就是没什么失误我们才赢。这样打 SKT 的时候就打得特别好。
So I think the crucial point is we didn't make any errors. So if we perform well against SKT and make no errors, we have a really good chance.
Well, making no errors is, of course, not easy on a stage like this. Do you guys feel, as a team, that you're growing? I talked to you on day one, and you were reluctant to say how far you would go. Do you have a better thought of where you guys could end up? Because you're looking like one of the strongest teams in the tournament.
他说不犯错当然很重要。那可是第一天访问你的时候，问你说你觉得你们排名会如何？然后你有点没有确定的给肯定的答案。那你现在觉得，因为你们现在表现得非常好，大家觉得你们很强，那你大概觉得你们会走多远？
我们4强现在基本上蛮稳的，接下来就是想办法把我们的状态调到最好吧，因为我觉得就是剩下晋级的队伍都不是什么好打的。
I think we're locked in for top 4 for sure, and we still need to do better conditioning for our team because the top 4 teams are going to be really strong.
Well, Sword Art yesterday after beating SKT said, well, with this win, I actually think we can win the whole MSI. You haven't beaten RNG yet or CLG. Out of those two teams, who do you think is the strongest and who do you think you might meet in the endgame?
昨天赢 SKT 的时候，蛇蛇有说，赢了的话，应该你们 MSI 就要尽量拿冠军。那你们目前为止没有打赢 RNG， 也没有打赢 CLG。可是在这2队你们里面，你认为哪一队比较强？然后最后你们最有可能遇到谁？
我觉得 RNG 应该是我们觉得最难打了吧，因为我觉得他们的风格跟我们很像之外，他们的每个人的操作也都非常好。
I think RNG is the harder team to beat because they play a very similar style to us, and also their individual mechanics are all really good.
All right, you guys are very close to getting in that top 4, and that would be huge for the LMS region. You guys have done really well at Worlds without ever having the first seed. How important would it be to now be able to go into World Championship as first seed, possibly as the Flash Wolves?
他说上一届世界赛的时候，你们没有第一种子，然后进去你们表现也非常好。那这一次如果你们进了4强了，然后就有第一种子，你觉得这对 LMS 还有可能是闪电狼进去的有什么意义？
其实我不是很清楚第一种子是什么。
第一种子就是你们是小组第1名，所以就排位会比较好。第2、3会让别的联盟来选。
他问我大概怎么？啊？他问我大概。
他问你说，那这对就是 LMS 来讲有第一种子啊，有可能是闪电狼是第一种子，对你们来讲的意义？
意义嘛，当然我们拿到种子当然是最好，就是想办法把我们成绩越打越好。
We'll be really happy to have first seed, and we'll do better and better.
Well, you guys are doing amazingly so far. Thank you so much, Maple. Flash Wolves taking down SKT twice here at MSI, and our guys at the desk are going to talk a little bit more about that match.
Thank you very much, Shocks. Before we get into the second win for Flash Wolves over SKT, 2-0 over SKT, and the 0-4 from SKT over their last 4, I just want to throw out some statistics around Maple, the man that we just interviewed there. 10 KDA, highest in the tournament. 81% kill participation, highest in the tournament. 34% damage share for his team, highest in the tournament.
Are you trying to make a point here?
Maybe, just a little bit.
I believe the next one will be highest in the tournament for mid laners.
The last one is for mid laners. It's 9.5 CS per minute, highest across all mid laners in the tournament. So just one piece of the puzzle for why Flash Wolves is playing so well, but just have to say kudos to him on his individual performance here at this tournament.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy for him. A lot of people forget, but Maple is still 18 years old. He's been playing at Worlds since S3. This guy's going to get better and better, and I really think he's going to create so many rivalries at MSI here down the line. We're seeing the first chapter in this story.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, let's dive into how Flash Wolves came away with another victory over SKT here, starting in the draft. Because actually, I know that we had some questions around what they picked up here in terms of having to sacrifice Maokai and Echo, two champions that you don't normally find on the same team.
Yeah, I felt like SKT came in with a plan that was basically ban Nidalee and Kindred, because we don't trust in Blank right now to take like a skill matchup versus Kasa. But then Flash Wolves decided to ban Kindred themselves, which was surprising to me. And they were setting up for that Alistar first pick. SKT knew that. They were basically saying, okay, if you first pick that, we get Maokai, the S-tier top laner we don't see very often. And of course, the remaining of the 3 good junglers in the grave. So that was a good start. Then Ezreal comes in the second rotation. That's where I feel like Flash Wolves are making a mistake. Because if you take Echo Azir instead, yeah, you show your soul laners, but you get, again, these S-tier picks for your team. Like, getting Ezreal, you just traded for Lucian, like, has less value in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it objectively and you're like, my players can play anything, that would be the correct choice. But I think you have to draft around NL sometimes because, you know, Ezreal has such a higher value for the specific player, and that's maybe why they kind of sacrificed a little bit in the draft to draft it early for NL specifically.
But everyone should be able to play Lucian at the top level.
Should.
Even with the Ezreal.
This man's team is winning. This man's team is winning so many games.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to play Lucian so it's not a liability in draft.
Absolutely. But then given the fact that the Ezreal was drafted, this is where I want to come to you, Clement, on the fact that we saw losing CS numbers actually for the majority, the early portion of the game. And I think that's where, you know, if there's a takeaway for Flash Wolves in terms of a point of improvement or a fear moving forward in the tournament, is that they weren't necessarily winning the early game because they had gotten gimped in Champion Select in their ability to pressure.
I really do think that SKT drafted a better early game team composition. Like, the Azir is not going to be very mobile from the mid lane, so what you saw SKT doing a lot was going directly into the Flash Wolves jungle, and they were getting a lot of vision down on that. The thing is, really, the early game, I felt Flash Wolves was very, very far behind. They were facing a really good skirmish comp with no map control, but the Baron play really turned everything around.
Exactly. Everybody's going to look at SKT losing 4 games in a row, and heads are exploding, but remember how far ahead they were. They were playing according to game plan. It was that Baron still, which was so crazy how they kept on the Baron. They went for the 50-50 with an Elise right in there with it. That right there is a team call. Everybody's going to be throwing a lot of shade at Blank, you know, for
not getting the smite or whatever.
As well. But this is also a team issue.
Right.
There's something with Blank and the rest of the team.
But still, I mean, for SKT, if we look at the game, they did basically what they were supposed to do in the early game. Again, you had Maokai lane, and Poppy's not the strongest laner anymore. The Ezreal lane into Lucian again, so SKT were winning.
The ganks.
Exactly, like they were winning those lanes. I do want to give some credit again to Sword Art and also Kasa, because actually they were the guys keeping Flash Wolves close or in the game, because tower dives, you know, good ganks coming in. And then, of course, later on, Sword Art, once they get the Baron, he's the man setting up the tower dives. Later in the game, the big team fights are starting.
Oh, man.
This man, when you first pick Alistar for him, he will win you the game.
Mato is the one who said that.
Yeah, but now we're moving over to Sword Art.
Sword Art's executing on it. Finally, or you want to jump in?
I just want to add on that it was Sword Art's flash combo into Karsa's flash cocoon. So those two working in synchrony is just, it was beautiful.
Clement, I want to give you the closing point as we did talk about maybe some of the weaknesses for Flash Wolves early in the game. Once that Baron play did happen, we saw how cleanly, again, this team can operate when they do have the advantages, when they do have that gold lead. I mean, from that point onward, closing out the game seemed, you know, fairly consistent and easy for them, if not taking a little bit of time.
Yeah, Flash Wolves is the best team at closing out games we've seen so far in the LMS for a long time. And the way they do it is exactly how they showcased it this game. They do a lot of tower dives with, especially the Elise pick. It's actually Karsa's most played this season, and he usually channels that tower diving synergy with Sword Art very well. They get the burst damage from Karsa, and they just try to, like, from NL, and they just try to push things in with the Zir. We've seen this play so many times, and I'm just glad they could showcase it here.
Game 4 is in the books. Flash Wolves sitting pretty at 4-2. SKT 2-0. Gonna be worried a bit after that one. We're going to go on cooldown, but the action continues after this with Counterlogic Gaming returning to the stage for a rematch against Supermassive. You're watching the 2016 Midseason Invitational. We'll be back in just a minute.
That Baron steal, though.
That Baron steal,
What
though.
kind of story would it be if SKT lost their 4th game in a row and gets 2-0'd by Flash Wolves in the group stage? That would push SKT to 2-4.
It's not going to be getting away from him. That Spider, a lot of damage dealt. As Sora goes in, Karza comes up, Karza's shut down, and they manage to find one back into this game.
Well, they're here time.
Karza's here. Oh my lord, he gets it! He stole the Baron away, and SKT starts coming apart at the seams.
Nice,
And he's taken out. That's a chance. But Maple sinks the divide, and MMD sends him flying back. Faker is trying to save the day. Chrono breaking back to stop Sword Art, but not enough. And NL chasing Blank all the way back into Fountain. Faker's pushed back. The double kill for NL. Flash Wolves have done it again.